All right, welcome guys. This is Oil Tribe, and this is our living and sharing education webinars that we do every Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My name is Stephanie Dunning, and I do this along with my sister-in-law, Allie Kitely. And we are so happy to have you guys here live, or if you are on the recording, we really appreciate it. And each week we do a Living and Sharing 201 educational webinar. For those of you who don't know who I am, like I said, I'm Stephanie Dunning. I am a recently lovely married lady, and I also have a family. I have a 3-year-old son. His name's Brody. And that's also my super awesome husband right there, Sam. We have been sharing and doing doTERRA for now 3 years. It has hit the 3-year mark. And we absolutely love what we do. It has been such a blessing in our household for us to be able to give the solutions we need to our friends and our family, and as well using them in our own hands. Today, I actually just saw a little like time hop thing of our son when he was 4 months old, when I just started using doTERRA, and how I used lavender oil to help calm him into a restful night's sleep. So you kind of forget of those first little experiences you have the longer you're in doTERRA, and it was such like an awesome remembrance of like, oh yeah, we used him on him when he was so tiny, and it was such a great success. And I remember being so excited about it and sharing it with all my friends that lavender oil helped put my cranky baby to sleep. So he is now a big boy, and he still loves his essential oils, and we absolutely love them. This is our full-time job, specifically my full-time job. And my husband also has a full-time job, but sooner than later, he will probably be switching to part-time. And then eventually he'll be just doing what he would like to do best. And doTERRA is going to be that vehicle that gets us there. It's really providing us with a boost in what we're able to provide for our family. And also it's putting us on the pathway to be debt-free, which is very big for us. And it's a very big thing, and a big crucial part about doTERRA is they would like everyone to be out of debt and be the company that gets people out of debt the fastest. So that's a little snippet about me and doTERRA. So for those of you who are customers, and you're really just living the essential oils, you're just living and using, and same for those of you who are builders, you should be living your essential oils. When I talk about building, I mean people who are doing the business like myself. So this webinar focuses on the living portion of people that are just living and wanting some tips and tricks of what we like to use in our household. And then the second portion that we'll be talking about tonight is the building section. Customers are welcome to stay on and listen. I actually encourage it just to see, because really building is not as scary as it seems. So I would really invite you to listen, especially to tonight's, because it's our quick start guide, which is really what we talk about with people who are thinking about building. And I'm going to be going over that and how you share that with potential people that would like to do the business. So I encourage you to watch the whole time. And they're really short, brief little sections, but we're going to jump right into the living section. Living section tonight is going to be about first aid. We love our essential oils, and we use them for tons of different purposes, but we also like to just be prepared. We like to kind of be prepared for anything, really. I have first aid kit that I had bought from Aroma Tools, and it's literally like a little kit, and it has all these tinctures and things that you can do, as well as some things that you would need to come in handy in a first aid moment. But I also really love this tin, and I have this tin, and I take it with us whether we're out hiking or if we're going on a drive. I've been traveling a lot this summer, so I make sure that I keep this with me, but I actually don't leave my tin in my car because I don't want my oils to heat up. Because each oil has a heat up point, and you don't want to devalue the medicinal properties of that oil. So don't leave it in your car, but this is a great one to have in your car while you're traveling. It's great. You could have it in your purse. It's just a little tiny tin can. It could even be an Altoid tin can, or you could order one off of Amazon. But I have about 4 of these, and I send one with my husband in his lunch pail when he goes to work, and I also have one when I travel. It's actually in our like little emergency bag if like you break down or anything. It just goes in the zipper pouch. And then I have one in our hiking stuff, and then with our camping gear. So we're kind of covered, and it's really easy to do. You just use little sample bottles, so you're not taking full bottles of everything with you, which is also really nice to have. I also take this if I'm traveling on an airplane or anything like that. I just take this stuff with me. I was just down in Goldendale, Washington, visiting my great-grandfather, and I sliced my finger open cutting up watermelon. And I was so thankful that I had this little tin because I was able to give myself some first aid without having to use bandages or anything like that. I'm still totally down with people having bandages. That's cool. And of course, if you're bleeding really bad, please go seek medical attention. Oils aren't going to clog your artery. So if you burst something open, you should probably still seek medical attention, but this can assist you for the smaller things for sure. The only thing I have in addition to my first aid kit is I have a bottle of helichrysum with me. And that actually coagulates blood if you were to slice open your finger, not super deep, but fairly deep. And that's what I actually used when I cut open my fingers. I used some lavender, so it didn't hurt as bad, because I know as soon as we burn our finger or slice our finger, it's that instant pain, and you want to put your finger underneath the water. Instead of that, I ran to my first aid kit, and I put a drop of lavender and 2 drops of helichrysum, and it was amazing. Like instantly felt way better. The blood stopped running as fast. And I just kind of wrapped it a little bit with some tissue, and it was fine. I didn't need a bandage or anything. So here are some tips of a first aid kit that I would think like the basics that everyone should have and why you should have it. And then you're welcome. There's like room in there that you can absolutely put in a little list of what you have. So what I have on here, and if you guys are interested in this, you can just message me, and I can actually send you this list, and it's printable so that you can just print it out and put it in your tin can. But the basics that I like to have are lemon, lavender, wild orange, peppermint, melaleuca, frankincense, breeze, and fractionated coconut oil. You never know when you're going to need to dilute your oils, so it's always great to have that on the go with you, especially if you have a baby with you or someone who has sensitive skin. Or maybe if you're using more of a caustic oil, which is a hot oil. Some reasons why you would use these essential oils. I have it in a list right here, but I will just briefly go through it. Maybe if you are having some occasional issues with your throat, you need to maybe sanitize something. If you have some digestive upset, if you're having some seasonal threats happening, you could use lemon. Lemon is a great way to just kind of clean everything out, and it smells amazing. It tastes great in water. So maybe if the water you're drinking it doesn't taste that great to you, I wouldn't say do like an unpurified water, but we use lemon no matter what we're drinking, whether it's tap water, city water, fountain water, sanitized water. We're always putting lemon in our water bottles, because really the purest of pure water really truly isn't pure. There's still probably particles of things that we probably don't even want to think about in it. So lemon is a great purifier. Wild orange. I love wild orange also for cleansing benefits. It can also help with mood elevation. If you have some occasional digestive upset as well, if you really need just a boost of energy, and it can help also with some repairing issues with your tissues. So I love doing wild orange. Maybe if you're sleepy, you're on a drive and you're getting kind of tired, I like doing peppermint and wild orange together just to kind of wake me up and just get through the rest of the trip. Also, I just love having wild orange. Maybe it's a rough day traveling with the family, you can just smell wild orange. Lavender, of course, for cuts, burns, bug bites, really anything calming. It really is a natural way to just calm anything skin related or body related. There's tons of lists on there. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but I love lavender for bee stings. Bee stings is probably the #1 thing that we're using this specific type of oil for in this kit, is when we get stung by bees. That's why we have our first aid really with us. And of course, cuts and burns. Peppermint, of course, for nausea. If you had some head tension, allergies, lemon, lavender, and peppermint for any of those issues. And Melaleuca is great for anything skin related. Of course, any occasional earache or occasional issues where you're really needing to cleanse something, maybe cleanse out a wound, anything like that. Frankincense, of course, cleansing those wounds as well. Emotional balance, cuts, burns, anything that you're really wanting to cellularly repair. And then Breathe, of course. I love having Breathe because for me, I have occasional seasonal discomfort. So I really go through a lot of lavender and peppermint and a lot of Breathe, especially being out in the woods. I love it, but I'm also allergic to tree pollen. So this is definitely helping and aiding in that area. Breathe oil is really the boost of the respiratory support. So anytime you're having issues with some respiratory issues, you're going to go to Breathe. That is the first one that I would recommend. Of course, talked about fractionated coconut oil, just to dilute some of those and also allow that slower absorption. Maybe if you're wanting to slowly have that oil go into your skin, or also if you have skin sensitivity, or you're elderly, or you have a child. So those are the ones I would say for sure you should have to have. I know there's a few of you live. You're welcome to put in the chat what you would totally like. This would be like, if you're on an island, which oil would you take with you? And it wouldn't be like the ones listed already, because of course we would already have those with us. For me, it's helichrysum. I absolutely want to have that oil with me. And if I was stranded on an island, that is the #1 oil I would want with me. Plus all of these ones, but it's so hard. It's so hard to just say one oil, but I encourage you guys to type in one oil besides the ones that I have listed that you would have with you. It's always fun to see what people would do. For sure, I would say helichrysum, and then after that, I'd probably say like Balance or Whisper would be mine. I'm gonna see. While I'm waiting for the chat, like I said, if you guys want this little PDF, you're welcome to message me, and I can post it. I can also put it in the event. It's about the same size that you could just print it out and then put it inside your little tin. Yeah, Purify. Purify would be a great one too. Purify is a cleansing oil, and it really does what it says. It cleanses, so it's a great oil. Yeah, so Allie said she absolutely loves lavender though. So maybe Allie would have 2 lavenders with her, 2 sample bottles of lavender. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna move right along, and that is our living section for today. Super short, super simple, but you know what? When it comes to first aid, you always would way rather be prepared than scrambling around and going, I don't know what to do. You could also slip in some bandages in there, you know, some things that you would need just in case something happens, because it's always better to be prepared. So for our building section, we are going to talk about the quick start guide. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's totally fine. In our building section, we use Edge Success as a training tool. And one of the many portions of the training tool is the quick start guide. Quick start guide is really for when someone has expressed interest in the business, they've done a business overview, and they've said, you know, I really think I'm ready to start my doTERRA business. This is the next step that you would have with them, is this discussion. So it does say the end of the slideshow, but it's because I'm going to pop out here, and I am going to show you guys. We're going to actually go to that section. So back up a little bit. So this is the quick start guide, and it's beautiful, and I love it because it's this gal just starting her little path, and it's totally how it is. So ask a question of, to qualify for commissions, you have to have a minimum order of 100 PB. Are you in or you're not in? It's kind of just the basics. It's going to do a little brief overview of the loyalty rewards order and what that means, because to qualify for commissions, you have to have a minimum order of 100 PB to qualify to do your doTERRA essential oil business, and it needs to be on loyalty rewards. So that's just kind of showing that. And then this is the beginning. So really what tonight I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through this as if you guys were going to be walking through this with a potential builder. So I'm just going to make sure. Okay. So, whoops. I love how it has like the page like swipes. So I'm going to zoom in here. And it has the first question is, what is your long-term goals with your business? And this I would probably bring out and talk to them a little bit more about the rank. And it has the ranks listed right here, right on this bottom portion right here, of all of the ranks that we have besides a couple of the beginning ranks. So I would definitely take like a rank sheet with you to show all of our ranks of course, manager, director, executive, elite, and so on and so forth, just so they could see that there are a few ranks before executive. But this is their long term. So this isn't short term. This is a long term goal. Like if they were the bravest of brave, what would their long term business goal be? And what amount of money would make a difference in their life? What is an amount of money that after bills, what is an extra amount that they would love to have? And then really, what is their vision with their business? What are they envisioning doing doTERRA? Are they wanting to help others? Are they wanting just natural solutions for their family and their friends? Are they wanting to have this business be the vehicle for them to be able to adopt children? Are they wanting to fill it so that their husband can come home? There's countless visions of really why we start our business, and it's never going to for sure stay the same because it will always grow bigger the longer you're in doTERRA. In the very beginning, I just wanted natural solutions for my son. Once that was solidified, my vision got bigger and my dreams got bigger, and it was, okay, well, I want Sam to no longer work in Moses Lake. Well, now that's happened. He works in Spokane. Well, now it's, I want us to be financially free. And now we're chipping away at that one. So it starts to grow with you. So don't feel like this has to be solidified and perfect right now, because it's not going to be. But what is it going in? Why are you drawn to doTERRA? And then it's going to talk about your first 90 days. And what that means is you are going to write a commitment of what you are going to do in your first 90 days. How many hours per week are you going to work in doTERRA? How many hours are you dedicating towards your doTERRA business? And that's absolutely okay. If you have a full-time job, there are still a few hours in each week that you could dedicate to doTERRA. And this is what you're willing to do. And you know that you're willing to do it. And then this is also accountability. This is creating accountability between you and the person who signed you up, or if you're the person doing this with someone else, it's creating accountability between you and your new builder. How many contacts are they going to make each week that they're willing to make? How many people are they going to sample each week? And how many times are they going to teach each week? And then what is their rank goal in their first 90 days, and some other goals. In that section, I really like to define, what does it look like? What's your overall volume at that rank? Do you have a builder in mind? Are you working on your third leg? How many enrollments do you have that week or that month? Things like that. Get really detailed and really specific, because the more detailed, more specific you get, the easier it is for you to achieve your goal, because it is totally mapped out for you. There, of course, is the journaling exercise. So you'll talk about that with them, and you're going to set a completion date of when they are going to complete that. It's a week-long journaling exercise, so make sure that you give them time to do so. And you can also use this portion right here as a reference to them setting their hours per week and so on and so forth. But really, when it's saying, what do you want to achieve with your business? What rank and by when? This is magic, guys. I absolutely love this whole section. Like if it just had this, I would be so excited about the getting started guide, but there's so much more that's awesome. But I really love that this is showing you face value. If you put in this time in doTERRA and you don't give up and you're actually doing business building activities, this is the rank that you're going to achieve. And it makes it so much more attainable for people to go, well, how much do you really work, or how much time did you really spend, or how long did it take you to get there? And it really breaks it down for them. And it's saying, well, you know, I really just want to build my business in my spare time. So maybe 3 to 5 hours per week. Well, okay, perfect. You're looking at an executive or a lead builder. This is also crucial for you when you're the builder doing this with a potential builder, because you're having those first 14 days of where you're going to place them. And if you know right away that they absolutely just want to do it in their spare time, it's okay if it grows. But if you know right away, maybe if you have the ability to not put them on your front line and maybe put them deeper, you will, to help support that main team's builder. Because they're not really looking for something leadership. They don't want to be a leadership rank. They don't want to build part-time. They don't want to invest a lot more into it. It's just really to get their products for free. That's really what that spare time builder is. So this is a great identifying tool of where you should be placing these people. So it kind of helps you strategize on within those 14 days where you should be putting this person. Also, the next one is part-time. So, and it gives it a breakdown of if you're doing 8 to 12 hours per week, how many months and where you're going to cap out at. So 8 to 12 hours caps out as a silver. And that could potentially be 8 to 12 months for that person. And if they want to build this business full-time, 15 to 30 hours. Isn't it hilarious that full-time in doTERRA doesn't even equal 40 hours per week? It's so funny. I full-time build, and I'm probably around the 15 to 20 hour per week. I'm definitely not at 30. Probably when I'm hitting it really hard, I'm at 30. But on an average, I'm not hitting 30. I'm just not, and that's completely honest. And it's going to tell you a kind of breakdown of what that would look like for you, which is super funny that it says like 4 to 6 years as a presidential diamond, because there have been so many people that have done that in such short amount of time, just much shorter. So it's kind of like a guarantee, like in 4 to 6 years from now, like we're at that 3-year mark, what could happen? And it's definitely exciting. It's exciting to know that, you know, in just a short amount of time, you could be completely financial free. So this kind of just breaks down. I just love that little graph. And then at the bottom, it says, I am blank rank on or before this date. That's kind of like what they're declaring. And then it talks about our 3-door method, which is the whole progression of Edge Success, which is learning, using, and sharing. 3 invitations to 3 doors, and we walk them through that. Has the trainings that they could go on at edgesuccess.com. It talks about our duplication cycle and what that means. It also has a little blurb, which is so exciting, about our Edge Success app, which I absolutely love. For if you're in the business, you have to have that because it is magic. It is an amazing tool. And also it talks about our 6-3-1 schedule. So many people, when they get started, where do I start? What do I do? And really every builder in doTERRA should have the 6-3-1 memorized. And what I tell our team is it's 6-3-1-1. And the additional one is convention. Just because if you don't go to convention and you're doing doTERRA, you don't really get the full picture of the business that you are representing until you go. It doesn't come full circle until you've been there. And I could talk forever about convention, but it's amazing, and there's no words for me to put it for each person because it's something different for each and every one of you, but it's something that I will never miss out on. I will always go to convention no matter what. So, whoops, I skipped a couple pages. Here we go. The next portion is you're going to set class dates. This is where they have their planner. It's bam, right there. And then you can set some dates. You really want to schedule their first 3 classes within their first 30 days. So many of us wait to do that new builder's first 3 classes. Do not wait. It's never going to be a perfect time. It's never going to be perfect weather, perfect whatever. No matter what, life is busy. Yes, it's back to school, but then after back to school, it's pre-holiday. And then after holiday, it's right before tax season. And then right after tax season, well, it's spring break. There's always something. So why not jump in now? Just get a little bolder and just start now, because those people that aren't available now, they'll be available later. So just jump in and be confident in sharing that with those people, as you really, really want that builder. I would even say in their first 14 days, you really want those 3 classes done, because then that's really going to gauge where that person should be. If you can, and that person has decided to do doTERRA in those first 14 days, if you've really done your job with the Edge Success, have those classes as soon as possible, but for sure within their first month. Has to be within their first month. So the longer you wait, the easier it is for them to not want to do this. And they get more and more excuses because it's scary. So if it's just you're feeding off of them and their energy of them being excited to do this business, then absolutely just keep on going. So you're going to do the first 3 classes, first 30 days. You're going to get them on the team calls that we have every Monday at 10 a.m. You're going to get them attached with a monthly team training, which we do a team training the 3rd Tuesday of every month. And then you're going to set out some mentor calls for them. That's going to be probably according to that person. That could be a weekly call. That could be a bi-weekly call or a monthly call, but minimum, they need to talk to you at least once a month to let you know what their goals are for that month and how it's going to go through. I always also tell people that you are welcome to contact me as much as you need to in this short amount of time, because if you're not asking me questions, I'm going to get a little worried, because there should be questions. It's brand new to them. There should be questions, and it's absolutely okay for them to ask questions. Then they're going to create that names list of 100, but they're going to go for 500. And they know that that's crazy, but it's true. They really need to do that. The bottom of that, I can probably zoom in for you guys so you can see this a little bit better. The bottom of that is going to have a completion date. This is them agreeing, saying, I'm going to have this done, and you're going to check in with me on this day, and I will make sure it's done. So it's, again, creating that accountability. We are not bosses in this business. It is not up to us to tell people what to do. It's up to us to help encourage and help people grow and be alongside, just helping and believing in them until they believe in themselves. And then we're just their backup cheerleader. So that's really what your whole vision is as their mentor. It's just someone who has ran the race before them, and you're just guiding them. You're not telling them what to do. You're not their boss. You can't punish them for not doing things. But it creates accountability, because within this business, you are technically your own boss. So why we do these things is so that you can create accountability for yourself, to have something to look towards, because it's very hard, and I think people don't think about when you become your own boss, what that looks like, and kind of the self-discipline that comes along with that. So this is a great tool to create that accountability so you don't have to do everything by yourself. And I promise if you get stuck along the way, we have all experienced some way of what you're experiencing right now. The next one is talking about who to invite to your first class. So that's going to have their names list of their first 50 people. In each section, this is contact, sample, presentation, enroll. So if I have Jamie here, I've contacted her, I've sampled her, presentation, enroll. You're just going to go and check off so you can keep track of where Jamie's at in your downline, and what's happening with her. The very back section of this is a great tool, which I also love this tool, is so many people are like, well, what do you say in certain situations? Or I just need a script, or can I write down what you say? This is it, guys. This is awesome. So the first portion is you're going to be seeking openness and contacting someone in person or by phone. And it literally has it right there. If you're scared and you don't know what to say, or you clam up when you talk to somebody on the phone or in front of someone, memorize these. because it's going to be such a great tool for you for when people say, you know, well, I don't know, what are they about, or, you know, anything. So it gives you an idea of what to have to be prepared to say in those times where you don't know what to say. So read through these, memorize them. They're super handy. And there's even ones that say, like, here's how to respond if they say they can't make the class this time. So many people are like, well, what do I do if they say no? Do I just say, okay, thanks? No, say these things. Like, say the next portion of it. So, and there's even like a remote contact, so someone who maybe isn't close to you, maybe if they live out of town. And then if you were texting someone, what would you say? And then quick responses to common questions. This is gold and magic. These are nuggets, guys. What are essential oils? What is network marketing? You know, I have a family event that evening, so I can't make the class. Yes, I want to learn, but I just can't that day. You know, those are so many common things that we get, and then there's your responses. So it's so helpful to have this, guys. It is amazing. The next portion of it is something that we should focus on immediately from day one, of finding that person's 3 business partners really that they want to build this business with. Because, guys, we get to choose who we share this business with and who we do business with. You get to find people that you would love to work with. You love their energy. You love everything about what they do and what they're about, and you want to be a part of their life. Because the people that I build this business with, not all of them have I known before doTERRA, but the ones that I have known, I'm so excited that I get to be a part of their life because it's so much on a more deeper level. And then the other people, it's just amazing to me that they probably know me better than some of my childhood best friends. Because we share our dreams and our aspirations, we share our hurts, we share our wins, we share a lot of things that you don't see or get in a normal relationship. So these 3 people really are your most top important people in your life besides your family. So it's really awesome that you get to pick those people and potentially invite them and be open with them about building this business with them. So I'm not going to go over all of it because we're kind of pressed for time, but this tool is magic. And then this is how to invite people to being open about the business. So there's a couple little quick things. Then it talks about getting equipped and trained, which is very important with our training system. So it's an assignment. It's saying you need to get equipped, you need to listen to the CDs, and you need to attend a boot camp. And then you're going to set a completion date for that as well. And this is also important. I add on there a couple of stars saying, you know, business supplies, in addition to the ones that are listed here, which would be like sample bottles. If they didn't want to do the sample app from the Edge app, they could also buy sample bottles. I like to have both on hand no matter what. Also, they need to get business cards, and they should probably be getting like a Modern Essentials book or an Oil Life book. But it's awesome because you're setting completion dates for these things. So this is the first point that you would do with someone, and then you would also, after this is completed, I would probably give them their fast track planner. After things have been starting to be completed, then I would give them a fast track planner. So that is it for tonight. Does anyone have any questions about this guide? You can get it on edgesuccess.com. And I could click that little link there. Trying to remember how much it is. Edgesuccess.com, just even that is super awesome. Trying to open this up so you guys can see how much it is because I do not remember. So a pack of 10 is $9.95 if you just wanted that. Oh, Teresa wants Digesta to the island. Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Teresa. That's very sweet of you. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to end the recording. Thank you all so much for joining us live or watching the recording. And we will see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. And I hope you guys have a great night.